Have you ever felt like everything was going wrong, even when you were trying to do the right thing? You're not alone. Let me tell you the story of Joseph, a young man who went through some really hard times, but never gave up hope. Joseph was the 11th son of a man named Jacob, and he was definitely his dad's favorite. Jacob even gave Joseph a special robe of many colors, bright, beautiful, and unlike anything his brothers had. And if that wasn't enough to make them jealous, Joseph had some very unusual dreams. In one dream, he saw bundles of grain, his brothers' bundles bowed down to his. In another, the sun, moon, and 11 stars bowed before him. Let's just say, his brothers were not impressed. They were angry, jealous. And one day, they snapped. One morning, Jacob sent Joseph out to check on his brothers in the fields. As he walked toward them, wearing his colorful robe, the brothers saw their chance. Whispering, "Here comes the dreamer. Let's get rid of him." At first, they thought about killing him, but instead, they threw him into a deep, dark pit. Later, when some traders came by, they sold him as a slave to Egypt. Then they dipped his robe in animal blood and told their father Joseph had been killed by a wild animal. Just like that, Joseph was gone from his home, betrayed by his own family. In Egypt, Joseph was sold to a rich official named Potiphar. He worked hard, and before long, he was put in charge of Potiphar's entire household. Things were finally looking up. But trouble came again. Potiphar's wife tried to trick Joseph into doing something wrong. Joseph said no, he wanted to honor God. But she lied about him, and Joseph was thrown into prison, even though he had done nothing wrong. Another pit. Another betrayal. Still, Joseph didn't give up. He helped others in prison and earned the warden's trust. When two prisoners had strange dreams, Joseph, through God's help, explained what they meant. One of them was released, and Joseph asked him, "Please remember me." But the man forgot. For 2 whole years, Joseph waited. One day, Pharaoh, the king of Egypt, had 2 puzzling dreams. No one could explain them. That's when the man from prison finally remembered Joseph. Joseph was brought to Pharaoh. "Pharaoh, I hear you can interpret dreams." Joseph, humbly, "I can't, but God can." Joseph explained, the dreams meant that 7 good years of food were coming, followed by 7 years of famine. Pharaoh was amazed. He saw something special in Joseph. So he made him second in command over all Egypt, to prepare the land and save the people. Joseph, once a slave, was now the most powerful man in Egypt, second only to Pharaoh himself. When the famine finally hit, people came from far and wide to Egypt for food, including Joseph's brothers. They didn't recognize him. But Joseph recognized them. He tested their hearts to see if they had changed. And when he saw they were truly sorry, he could hold back no longer. Joseph, with tears, "I am your brother, the one you sold into Egypt." The brothers were speechless, afraid. But Joseph didn't punish them. Instead, he forgave them. Joseph said, "You meant it for evil, but God meant it for good." Genesis 50 verse 20. To save many lives, Joseph invited his whole family to live in Egypt, where there was food and safety. What started in betrayal ended in forgiveness. What looked like pain was part of a bigger purpose. Joseph's story reminds us that even when life is unfair, even when people hurt us, God is still working. You might feel stuck in a pit right now. But like Joseph, your story isn't over. God can use even the hardest moments to bring something good. Backhand index pointing right, trust Him. Stay faithful. Because sometimes, the path to the palace starts in a pit.